What is extensor bending and why is it a problem? This is Shelley from Miami Physio, and today I want to show you a poor spine movement pattern that I call the extensor bender. I'm going to explain why people might bend this way and why it's a problem. Then I'm going to show you a test that you can try on yourself and test yourself out and see if you bend with this poor pattern. So if you bend like this, keep watching to find out why this can create a problem for you. So, your back is designed to bend and extend and to manage load. And it's actually really good for your back to move through a range of movements. This means that your back muscles are frequently being stretched and used and that your joints don't get stiff. So why do people go into this movement pattern? So my experience has been that either, firstly, you've done some gym training and you've learned how to deadlift, and then you've continued to move like this even when you're not lifting anything. The second reason is you might have had a back injury. So you've had a sore back or an injury and you've started to move like this as a compensation to avoid the painful bending. But then you've continued to avoid the bending movement, or maybe you haven't even realized that you're still compensating and moving like this. So if this sounds like you, keep watching to learn why this is a problem. Now, if you always move or bend your back while you're in an active extension position, you're going to cause a number of issues. So firstly, the extensor muscles in your back are going to be constantly working, and they're going to get tight, they're going to get sore, and eventually they're going to get painful. The second problem is that generally you're going to be in a hyperlordotic or an increased arched position in your back. And this position puts extra stress on the posterior structures of your spine, meaning you're going to predispose yourself to bony stress issues such as stress fractures, pars articularis defects, posterior disc compressions, and the anterior stretching forces to the anterior part or the front part of the discs and the ligaments. The third problem is you're going to start to become reliant on the back extensors as well as the hip flexor muscles for your spinal support, and meanwhile your core muscles are going to become weaker. So now your back extensors are not in the ideal position to provide this support to your back. And instead, what they do is increase the compression forces on your spine. So this poor support increases your risk of the recurrence of your back pain injury. So if you're worried about how you move your back, our physios can assess your back and work out a plan to get you moving better. Now here's a test that you can try to see whether you have good spinal articulation or movement throughout your spine. And this is called a roll down. Now if you have back pain at the moment, don't do this test. Instead, come and see us for a thorough assessment with one of our physios so we can work out what's going on with your back and start you off on a treatment plan to get you going again. Stand with your back against the wall and roll yourself down one vertebrae at a time, and then place your back on the wall one vertebrae at a time as you roll up. Now if when you try this test you are unable to peel your back off the wall one level at a time, and instead a big chunk of your back has come away from the wall at once, or if you are unable to get your lower back to press into the wall, or you are a person who bends this way and you didn't even feel comfortable testing yourself out, I'd encourage you to book an appointment to come and see one of our physios, and we'll be able to thoroughly assess your back and get you back on the road to normal back movement.